All right, everybody, good afternoon. Welcome into Valley News Now for your afternoon update. Not going to waste a whole lot of time today. We have a lot to get into this afternoon, and we're going to start with the biggest story of the day out of the Twin Cities, where thousands of agents have converged as part of what Kristi Noem has called the largest immigration enforcement operation ever. Efforts which have now turned deadly. Federal officials say an ICE agent killed a woman in Minneapolis today. Details are still emerging as far as what led to this fatal shooting, but the incident quickly led to protests in the area. CBS's Nicole Scagna, joins us now with the very latest. We'll go ahead and get that going for you right now.
A 37-year-old woman was shot and killed in her car by an ICE officer Wednesday morning in Minneapolis, according to federal officials and eyewitnesses. ICE agents were in the neighborhood for an enforcement operation, and residents were honking horns and blowing whistles. Aiden and Grace Perzana say they saw the entire scene from their home and that several officers surrounded the SUV. Speaking in Texas, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem said agents were acting in self-defense after their vehicle was stuck in the snow. The shooting quickly sparked protests and outrage. Just this week, the Trump administration launched its biggest crackdown on illegal immigration, sending about 2,000 agents into the Twin Cities. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey.
Some good reporting there. We did have to cut off, obviously having some technical issues with audio channels there. We are going to have the latest on this, including sound throughout the day, so be sure to stay tuned. You can find some of that sound from Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey on our website right now, valleynewslive.com. Just find the story about this incident and you'll be able to hear that there. We're going to try to get that figured out by the end of this broadcast, but if we can't, like I said, just be sure to stay tuned to Valley News Live. Now let's move things a little bit closer to home. Our weather, quite a bit of a breath of fresh air. As you can see in this little bug in the corner here, 37 degrees right now. Felt refreshed coming out this morning. Joining us now is meteorologist Summer Schnellbach with the latest on what we can expect with these conditions moving forward. Will this weather be sticking around? I hope so. Let's find out.
Schnellbach here, keeping an eye on several things in our forecast. The big thing for today, talking about the sunshine and the mild temperatures. We've done some melting today, which has been nice to see, this early January thaw. Now, we're going to see still some mild weather for the rest of the week, but then this weekend, a few changes. Chance for some snow. We're watching two systems that are looking to merge heading into the weekend. We'll talk about what that might mean for us here in the valley. And then next week, looking a little bit unsettled too. Temperatures not too bad, but we're eyeing a pattern change when it comes to temperatures as well a little later on this month. And it's Laney's Weather Kid Day, so lots coming up tonight on Valley News Live. Hope to join us.
Those Weather Kid segments a personal favorite for me, and I know for our weather team as well, so be sure to stay tuned. A couple of things we've been working on here in the Valley News Live newsroom we'll get to before our Valley News Now digital exclusive. First up, authorities in Ransom County are investigating a shooting that occurred on January 2nd near Milner. The Ransom County Sheriff's Office responded to a call for medical assistance where they located a man who had been shot. According to the victim, an unknown vehicle drove past his location and fired shots. The victim was treated at the scene by emergency medical personnel and subsequently taken for further medical attention. The Ransom County Sheriff's Office is actively investigating this incident. Authorities are asking anyone with information regarding this incident to go ahead and contact them. This has been reported as a hunting accident. We've heard a lot of different things, but this is the very latest that we have as far as confirmed information goes. Also in Minnesota, former Rothsay city clerk was sentenced December 30th after pleading guilty to felony theft for stealing more than $67,000 $7 from the city. Zimmerman received 30 days home detention, 5-year supervised probation, and must pay $67,000 in restitution. If she completes probation, the felony will be reduced to a misdemeanor. The theft continued from late 2021 through August of 2022, including misappropriated utility payments and Venmo funds meant for a local charity. The first of many new Taco Johns in our area is now officially open, and I bet, especially if you've had to travel on 45th, you know. Let's take a look at this drone video that we got today. We sent our creative team out there around lunchtime. You can see the line wrapped up all the way around the building there. But as drivers pull up to order their potato olays, some area businesses are feeling the effects of this traffic. Harrison Prey from Valley News Live tells us more about what he learned from some of these nearby businesses.
And it's Harrison Prey of Valley News Live here in front of the newly opened Taco John's. You can see behind me there are some cars that are just coming in and out, and it's been quite the topic. Many people have been excited to try it out, and we've been also talking about the traffic that it's been causing. There's local businesses hereby as well that have witnessed the traffic, and they've been saying it's been pretty heavy, to say the least. And so I was able to speak with one small business owner about the traffic and whatnot. We'll be able to give you more here on Valley News Live tonight.
Thank you for that, Harrison. As far as I can tell, there has not been a good time to drive by that Taco John's yet if you're trying to go into the drive-thru. So if you do spot a time that's open, let me know, and I'll go ahead and swing through. Now, last but certainly not least, I would argue my favorite story of the day, and one of the first of many Valley News Now digital exclusives we have coming up here. Let's go ahead and bring in Jessica Bringy here. Jessica, first of all, thank you so much for telling us this story today. Let's go ahead and chat about it with a little bit. Jessica Bringy met with our, and by the way, Valley News Now debut, I believe, on this side of things. Of course, you've made your debut on the newscast, anchoring our 6:30 shows. You're going to see a lot of her here on the digital side of things, though, as well. She met with the Fargo Police Department's now retired K9 officer, Blue, and his handler for the team's last ever interview. It's a big deal there.
Last ever. It's the dog gone determined, as I am now saying. This pup is tracking new trails into retirement, and I was able to speak with his lifetime partner, that's Sergeant Sam Bowman, about what comes after a life of chasing crime.
Speak, speak, speak. Good, quiet.
When did he retire?
Blue retired last week on December 30th.
And what was that like?
It was hard. I mean, we've spent every shift together since 2017. So it was a little different dropping him off at home and still coming to work and doing everything that I'm used to doing. You know, on the more personal level, like you always had, you know, somebody to talk to, or you got used to having him in the car and, you know, hearing him and getting him involved in stuff and training together and working on stuff together, and now that's done. So that's been a little bit of an adjustment.
I mean, he's used to the go, go, go mentality. How do you get him to kind of transition to home life?
It's a good question. We're figuring it out. I have a friend that he retired his dog a couple years ago, and he said teaching them to be retired is the hardest thing you'll ever teach them. We've taught them to do some pretty complicated stuff police-wise, but the hardest thing for these dogs to do is nothing.
And I would imagine, just like any two-footed officer, some are put through a little more traumatic situations potentially than others, or you know, have a little more wear and tear.
Yeah.
Did you see that with Blue, or did he have a pretty typical career?
He had a pretty active career. He had about 1,000 deployments off. That's a lot. We did the math, and it worked out to he was doing something about every other day that he worked, but he doesn't have much quit in him. Last summer, he nearly died on a track in West Fargo looking for a suspect, and he actually tracked the person until he collapsed, and I had to carry him to the car. We had to rush him to the emergency vet, and he was there for 3 days. So that's the type of dog that we work with, is they don't give up.
Anything else that you just think is important for the community to know about canine officers, the importance of celebrating a retirement and their benefit to the department?
It's a big deal for anybody to get to do what I got to do. There's only 5 of us in the police department that are canine handlers at any given time, and there's 200 some employees. So it's not lost on me how fortunate I was to get to do this. Everywhere we go, people love to see the dog and love to see us. So we've gotten a ton of support over the years, and we're very appreciative of that. This is the coolest job on the planet as far as I'm concerned. I've wanted to do this since I was a kid, and I wanted to do it because I saw a canine demo when I was in school from a Fargo police canine handler. So I got to live out my dream, and now that's done. But we're incredibly thankful for the time that we had and thankful for the community support. Good job.
Yeah, he was very.
On his Kong.
That was almost
a Kong ball.
that was almost a kind of combative interview there. He had to tell him to get down at one point. So.
I know. Well, he was wanting to talk as well. You could tell he's not ready to quit anytime soon. But
well, it's important that Blue's voice gets heard as well. You know what I mean? And he knew that, and so he wanted to involve himself.
Well, and when he was talking about those 1,000 deployments, there was a lot that Blue accomplished. It was 119 arrests were attributed to him, and nearly 40 pounds of narcotics were recovered by him. So I would say that he certainly earned this retirement by a long shot.
I don't feel it's too editorial for me to say from all of us here at Valley News Live and Valley News Now, Blue, very good. Good job. Good boy. Good boy. Enjoy your retirement. Jessica, thank you so much for bringing us this story again.
Of course.
Super cool. And we're going to have a lot of opportunities to tell these more expanded stories to kind of bring you a little bit more of a different view of what you might see on the newscast every night here on Valley News Now. It's what makes our digital programming here so special. And tell you what, we'll keep it up.
That sounds good to me.
That seems fair to say at this point. Thank you for joining us for this Valley News Now afternoon update. Of course, we have, what time is it now? You got 15 minutes until Valley News Live at 4, so be sure to get in front of your TVs. If you can't, we're, of course, going to be on your phone or on our website all day as well, so be sure to stay tuned. For Devin Fry, for Jessica Bringy, this is Valley News Now. Thank you for tuning in.